People, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you are new here, my name is Amy, and at the moment I am posting everything pregnancy related, specifically for people with low Papp-A, which is what I have, and so much has happened since my last update. So this is going to be my 33 week to 37 week update. This could be my last update. That just sounds crazy. I could go into labour any time now. But there is so much to update you on. If you haven't been following me on Instagram, you probably won't even know what's been happening. So I'm going to let you all know in this video. This is my second baby, if you are just tuning in now. I previously had a baby boy back in 2017, and I will link his birth story and everything below, and all my other pregnancy updates, just for you to catch up on, so you understand my whole situation, what's been going on so far, and if you just are interested in that kind of thing. I know with both of my pregnancies I really enjoy watching pregnancy updates, especially with my first. It just gets you to know like the whole different scenarios which can happen, how everyone else is feeling, and sometimes that what you're feeling is also normal. So yeah, I do try to be honest, I try to be relatable, and yeah, I'm just a normal girl vlogging about my pregnancy. And I have had quite an influx of new subscribers since my last update video, so I just want to say hello and thank you for joining us over here. I really appreciate you for subscribing. Please stick around. If you are watching this and you're not subscribed and you'd like to, just hit the red button below, and that will just literally keep you updated on all my new videos, and it really means a lot to me because it lets me know that people are enjoying my content. So I've been waffling for about 2 minutes now, as I can see on the camera. So let's get into the video and I'll tell you how I've been feeling and what's been going on. So my first kind of update since my last video would be, I had my 34-week midwife appointment. I didn't have one at 32. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to have one at 32, but because I had a growth scan, it wasn't needed. So I had my 34-week midwife appointment. It was pretty straightforward. They took your urine sample. What else did she do? She didn't measure my stomach because I'm having growth scans, so they don't do that. And she took me through my birth plan. Now, this is where things get complicated. So I'll start off just by saying what my ideal birth plan is. So I wanted to go completely natural this time. Well, I say completely natural. I wanted to do hypnobirthing. I am doing hypnobirthing, should I say, anyway. But I wanted water birth. I wanted like natural, gas and air. Just the complete opposite to what I had with Brodie. I just wanted it to be a lot more calmer. I wanted to stay at home more. I didn't want to go like that to and fro the hospital. I wanted to stay at home for as long as possible until I couldn't take it, and then go in and hopefully be in active labour. Get in the birthing pool, birth the baby, pick them up, put them on my chest, delayed cord clamping. Literally, even the midwife said, because we want to go for like a water birth route, you can not have the injection to get your placenta out and just let it come out naturally. It normally works, like it goes hand in hand with like a natural water birth basically. So I was like, yep, I'm going to do that. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be like my positive, perfect birth that I wanted with Brodie. Yeah, so she jotted all that down. That was my birth plan, and yeah, my midwife this time is really nice. She's very supportive. That was all fine. So skipping forward 2 weeks, I had a growth scan at 36 plus 5 days. That was a week ago today. Yeah, so a week ago today, because I'm 37 plus 5 when I'm uploading this video, I should be. So basically, for the last, I don't know, I want to say 6 weeks, might even be more, I kind of keep track, I have felt the baby all on my right side. I just thought it was just the way he was laying, it was normal. I wasn't too concerned about it until I got to this growth scan. One, he has grown so much. He's now estimated to weigh £7 6 ounces, and Brodie was £8.4 when I went 9 days overdue, so that is huge. He's actually top of the chart. He's not over the chart, but he's dead on top of the chart, so they are not overly concerned about his weight. More so that he's laying transverse, which I didn't even think of when I was feeding him all over my right side, because I've felt his head down in my pelvis area. So I just thought he was laying at an angle, but apparently his head has popped out and he's now laying like diagonally. He's not fully transverse across, he's diagonally. So his head was sitting just off my on my bladder, but off my bladder, like in my left hip, if that makes sense. And his legs were like all the way wrapped around my right side, so that causes problems now. Other than that, he's completely fine. He's healthy big baby. I knew he was going to be big ever since I started showing at like 8-9 weeks. I knew I was going to have an big baby. We still don't know obviously because he needs to be born, but anyway. So then afterwards I see the consultant, and this is where my birth plan just goes out of the window, because I have low Papp-A, and no one throughout my whole pregnancy has mentioned to me, even my midwife at my midwife appointment said that I need to be induced at 40 weeks. Now, no one has said that to me, and apparently I need to be monitored throughout labour. So even my midwife did not know that, because she wrote down my birth plan and she knew that I have low Papp-A. So it makes it seem like I'm probably not going to get my water birth unless I really push and say, well, there's been no issues with my pregnancy so far with low Papp-A. It's meant to cause growth issues, but there's no growing issues with this baby, trust me. So I don't know whether to push back on that. I don't know. I really did not want to be induced that early, because that is still early. I would rather go to 41 weeks and try and attempt to go naturally. But they did say they would want to give me sweeps as well, which also I did not want. I didn't want sweeps. I didn't want to be induced. I would rather have been induced at 41 weeks and have a sweep, because I really wanted to go naturally that much. So yeah, that is that. So technically in 2 weeks time I could be going in to be induced and have this baby, which is it's quite scary now. It's the reality is kicking in of it now. But also because of the way he's laying, they basically said as soon as I go into labour I have to go to triage. So I have to go straight to triage as soon as I start getting contractions or feel like I'm in labour, and they need to scan me to see if his head's moved down. If his head hasn't moved back down into my pelvis, then they are going to attempt to move his head for me. I don't know how they're going to do that. I completely forgot to ask, but apparently they can do that. But they need to break my waters. Like, they need to break my waters for them to do that. So I don't know if it's kind of like they break my waters and kind of guiding me in. I don't know. I'm going to ask at my next appointment. But then they also said if my waters go when I'm at home and I get to the hospital, there's a chance that I may just need to go straight for a C-section, because it can be too dangerous, especially if his head hasn't moved. So yeah, I have no idea how I'm going to give birth at this rate. It could be an emergency C-section. I could have to have forceps again. I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it too much, but I'm still going to attempt to do my hypnobirthing, even like for the contractions and stuff. I'm still definitely going to do all my breathing exercises, just to keep me calm. And I don't know, in some ways I kind of like that I know it may not go the way I want it to now, instead of being in labour and then it's like completely switches up. Just because that's what happened with Brodie, and it was just too overwhelming, like too much happened in a short amount of time. So I can kind of like mentally prepare myself for it now, what might happen. Even though I'm not happy about it, as long as he gets here safely, that is all that matters. So yeah, that is what's going on. So in 2.5 weeks basically I'm going to be induced, unless they say otherwise. Because he is laying at a funny angle, someone recommended to go onto the website Spinning Babies. It's for like babies that are breached, transverse, not laying in the right position. I've been doing a few of the exercises on there which are specifically for transverse babies, and I already feel like he has moved. His legs, or I think it's his legs, right proper underneath my right rib now, as opposed to down near my right hip. I can definitely feel that difference. And his head does feel like it has gone back, but I don't know until they scan me, or if someone feels, because I feel like his head's there, but it could be an elbow, it could be a hand, we don't know. But it definitely feels like he has kind of shifted back round, if that makes sense. I've also been using my birthing ball. I've been doing like the hip circles and the rocking back and forward and gentle bouncing. That's all good to like get baby into like prime position for birth. So I've been doing that, and fingers crossed it does pay off. My ideal scenario is that I'm going to he's going to move back into position and I'm going to go into labour naturally before I hit 40 weeks. That would be like my ideal thing, because I don't want to go through the whole long process of being induced. It could take days, and especially now because we've got the whole coronavirus thing, it's going to be just, I'm going to have to go in on my own if I'm going to have to stay on the ward, because you're not allowed a birthing partner in until you're in active labour, which is 4 centimetres. And it took me 4 centimetres to get took me 2 days to get to 4 centimetres when I had Brodie, so I could potentially be on my own in hospital for 2 days unless they induce me and give me the one where you can go home. I'm praying I'm going to have that one where I can just come home and see if it kicks in, because I don't really want to stay in hospital on my own. It's not very nice, is it? Especially like when you're giving birth, you don't want to be on your own. Because he did have such a big growth spurt, they did send me for a GT test, which is the test for pregnancy diabetes. I had that on Friday and it's now Tuesday and I haven't heard back, so I don't think I have that. I didn't think I had that anyway, but they send you for one anyway just to double check. But normally you hear back within a few days and I haven't heard back yet, so no news is good news on that. I have my next midwife appointment next week at 38 plus 5 days. I'm going to ask there if I can push back on being induced so soon and just give me a few days just to see if I'll go into labour naturally. It may not be up to her, it may just be, it will have to be a consultant decision, but I'm going to ask anyway. I then have the week after at 39 plus 5, I have an appointment with the consultant, and that is to just assess the whole situation. So they're going to see if he's moved down, I think even if he has or if he hasn't, because I didn't mention about giving me a scheduled C-section. It was purely they was going to move my head or induce me and move his head, or an emergency C-section. They didn't mention about booking me in for a scheduled one, so I'm guessing if whatever happens, they're going to book me in to be induced anyway. So hopefully by that appointment he has moved and I can push back and say I don't want to be induced that soon. At least give me a few more days, try and go into labour naturally. I don't know, I really don't know what to do, because I didn't want to sweep because I had 2 with Brodie and I got an infection, and it took me so long to dilate as well, and I'm pretty sure it's because my body was not ready to go into labour. And I don't know if it's worth being induced, because it might speed things up a little bit better than having a sweep and going into labour naturally that way. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. Whereas if I get induced, the hormones might work more quicker than if I have a sweep and my body's not ready. And it just prolongs the labour. I don't want another long labour. Yeah, I do really want to try it and not have an epidural this time. That was my whole thing. I wanted to be more mobile. I didn't want to be strapped to a bed, because I didn't like that last time. That was the worst position ever, laying on a bed to try and give birth in. It hurts. It's obviously labour hurts, but it was just the wrong position for contractions, because I had all the contractions in my back, so laying on my back was like the worst thing. That's why I got an epidural. Secondly, trying to push a baby out on your back is awful, because you literally have to push them up a hill. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously I can't choose what's going to happen. What's going to happen is going to happen. I'm just going to go with it, and hopefully my hypnobirthing keeps me calm. But yeah, that is everything I have to update you on. I hope that made sense. I tried to explain it as best as I could. I'm not the best person at explaining things like that, so yeah, this could be my last update, which is quite sad, but I think I may just do a mini update. So like when I come out of my midwife appointment next week, I may just like do a quick update in the car and upload that, instead of doing like a whole sit down video like this. I might just start doing like key updates now. So after my midwife appointment, after my consultant appointment, and then I don't know if to kind of vlog the experience of being induced if I have to. I was a bit on the fence of filming my labour, because I'm not sure if I really want to put that out there on YouTube. But I may just like film like bits here and there, even if it's on my phone, just to have something to remember it by. That is everything that I have to update you on. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who reaches out to me as well. I may take it about a day to reply to you, just because I have a toddler who needs me, but I always try to reply to every single comment and DM on Instagram, and I'm so like happy that I've been able to help so many people. I get such lovely messages from people saying they've just discovered that they've got low Papp-A and they're really scared, they don't really know much about it, because they didn't really tell me much about it when I got diagnosed with it. But it's not actually that scary. And I try to say to people, like, it's fine, like 90% of babies apparently grow healthy, and people just say just following me makes them a lot more reassured. Yeah, I just really appreciate it when people reach out, and I'm so happy that I'm able to help other people as well. So yeah, don't be a stranger. Please message me if you have any questions. It's always good to like get to know and talk to people who are going through the same thing as you. But yeah, I do update regularly on my Instagram. I'll leave that here. I'll either leave it here on the screen or down below, because I'm going to change my name on there after the baby's born. So I may leave it in the description box so I can edit it. Yeah, go and follow me on my Instagram. I do more updates on there if you're interested in everything pregnancy. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you hit the red button below to subscribe if you want to stick around for more. And hopefully I'll see you next week for another little mini update. But yeah, if not, I'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Say something like you love me and make my day, like you always do, like you always do. Hold my hand and look me in the eye so I can tell you how I feel. Tell you how I feel.